Hey guys, it's Carl. So this is it. This is the very last living room tech tour that you're gonna see in this place. For those that have watched the channel or followed along, you know that I've probably been here, what, 4-ish years, and if this is the first time that you're watching this video, it's perfect as this will be a recap. A lot of tech has been changed out. Some of the tech has actually stayed for all 4 years, and the reason why this is the last video of the series, I'm actually building a house right now, and we're estimating completion to be sometime this year, maybe around September, October. I was actually just on site the other day, and they just finished up framing just in the nick of time, as it's the middle of the winter right now in Toronto, deathly cold. Today is actually -20. One of the big reasons why I'm recording this vid, did not want to step outside, so it's a perfect timing. But to the, I guess, tech for my last tour, for this entire living room setup, I would say that the floor plan of this living room in this condo in general. So we're sitting at around 1,700 square feet. The main area here is all open concept. So you kind of walk into the place. We've got the kitchen, the, I guess, living room / dining room area on one open area. And I thought I would switch things up and kind of work this way towards the camera into, I guess, the grand finale where the TV is and everything, because there is quite a bit of tech that spans across here. So behind me right now, we actually have a bit of another TV setup. So that is the Samsung frame. I think it's one of the most obvious pieces of tech, but maybe slightly conspicuous, because the frame essentially turns into a piece of artwork when the TV is off. And generally when you have a blank TV, it's just a black box, not really too aesthetic. And the frame is one of the pieces of tech that I've had for 4 years now. I got it installed when I moved in, and I typically don't watch TV over on this side, but sometimes I have friends over, sometimes we've got sports playing, so I have, you know, maybe my EPL playing in the background, and we've got another game going on the big TV. Very specific use cases. Most of the time I just have a picture or a piece of art up, which you can change, but I've just got it pretty stationary on one photo. Kind of moving down from there, I just want to intro the sponsor for today's episode, which is Marshall. So big shout outs to them. They're actually powering the audio experience in this entire place. So this is their new Acton 3 home Bluetooth speaker. It's part of their overall home line of Bluetooth speakers. And why I love this, the overall aesthetic, I think, fits in perfectly to the modern minimal theme that I've got going on. It's not overly flashy, it's not too big, it's got a great design with the faux leather around the outsides, and the gold trimmings I think make it fit perfectly into the space. Since it's a simple plug and play either via Bluetooth or aux, I think most people will lean to the Bluetooth option. I've just got it paired to my phone, and then I can choose the music streaming service of choice. So whether that's Spotify, Apple Music, or through podcasts, whatever I'm listening to. It's got these really nice knurled control knobs. There's always something satisfying about an analog control stick, so I can change the volume, treble, bass. The sound output, even though for its size, can cover this entire room. So whether I'm just kind of chilling, editing, listening to music kind of low key, or if I have friends over, I've definitely had a couple good parties in this place over the years, I can really crank up the volume, and I don't need an additional speaker here. It's made out of 70% recycled plastics, and like I said, the design of it I think just fits in perfectly. I've gotten so many compliments on it. So definitely a Bluetooth speaker for the home, worth checking out. And for the rest of the tech on that wall, I just have the ecobee smart home thermostat. It's my preferred smart thermostat of choice. It's better than the Nest thermostat. It's got a larger display. It's more premium once again. I can set different control temperatures when I'm, say, traveling, when I'm on vacation. That can all regulate the temperature here in the condo. Obviously, now that it's so cold, I do have it cranked up quite a bit, but it's super simple. I can control everything off of my phone. And kind of moving this way, not really tech related, but maybe my most prized possession. So this plant, I think it's a bird of paradise. I got it from my mom as a housewarming gift 4.5 years ago. It has grown a lot, looking a little bit brown since I've been traveling. Maybe it needs a bit more water, but definitely coming to the new house, I think it just gives the area, you know, a bit of green, a bit of nature. Kind of behind that, just a little light by gantry, and then what you'll see is the theme that runs across not only here at home in every room, but at my studio as well. I just love Lego. I love building out Lego sets. So So I've got the good old Land Rover Defender. Coming over this way, once again, not tech related, but we have Link's crate that I just keep all of his bully sticks, all of his extra food. He's actually in daycare today, so won't be making an appearance, but maybe I'll snag some bits of B-roll when he's back. Little Manchester United Lego kit, and I guess if you were to look this way, we just have this massive wall of windows, which is really nice. The biggest reason why I got this place was the little balcony space. So that's almost 1,000 square foot balcony. I'm definitely gonna miss it. I can see that Link has pooped outside, and I guess the plus side for it being so cold, it's now almost a little poop popsicle, so I will pick that up. I will say the piece of smart home tech that I do have outside is just a simple smart plug. Because I do have some lighting around the gazebo, you don't want to go outside to turn that on or off. I'll show B-roll at night when all the lights are on. You can convert non-smart accessories or non-smart electronics into something smart with just a simple smart plug. So this is the one that I use and recommend. It's by Matter. I've got a bunch of them. It's called 𝗦Energy, and that plug outside can now link to my smartphone. So from the comfort of inside, I don't have to go into -20 weather. I can just turn off those gazebo lights. So super dope, and they're probably the easiest way to get into the smart home tech space. So before we move into the main TV space, my dining table here, I usually receive all my tech here, not at my studio, and then I kind of haul them between both places. So this is where tech piles up that I need to test. So on deck, I actually have the 16-inch MacBook Pro with M2 Max chip. I initially had the M2 Pro, needed to make the upgrade to the Max, and I just haven't had the time to transfer my stuff over from my M1. So that's currently on deck, and I just came back from a trip. So I was actually just in San Francisco for Galaxy Unpacked. I've got the S23 Ultra here, and my suitcase is actually just sitting off to the side behind the tripod. So I have to clean that stuff off. We will now make a change. That's all the tech in this area that I can kind of see, and we'll hop on over to this side of the camera where my couch and main TV is. Okay, switching to, I guess, where the meat of the tech lives in my living room setup. Obviously, the first thing that we have to chat about, the TV. The amount of times that I've switched between this, and this is a 4K short throw laser TV. Got it from Hisense. I got it the last World Cup, so not the one that I actually got to go to in Qatar, the one before that. So it's been with me for close to 5 years. I actually had it in my previous place before I moved out, and I've kind of gone back, tested LG OLEDs, Samsung QLEDs, Sony TVs. I just cannot get over the size of having a 100-inch panel. There's just something so nice about having, obviously, that huge screen real estate. More so to the fact that I'm willing to sacrifice image quality. Obviously, with a short throw laser TV, they've gotten way better over the past 4 or 5 years. I was just at CES. They do look a lot better, but they still don't give you the same picture quality, the same blacks, the same, obviously, depth as an actual panel does. So not just on sunny days, but just during the daytime, if you have windows, if you have a lot of natural light coming in, the image quality just isn't as deep. But if you can look past that, if you want to have a large image size, and obviously 100 inches, I haven't gone to a movie theater in years. I just watch everything from home, from the comfort of my couch. I'm not burning $20 for popcorn. I can eat dinner. I can chill here and have a cinema-like experience on a large display. So that's the reason why I have it. I'm thinking of sadly leaving it here. I plan on holding on to this place to potentially rent out, so I guess the next person will enjoy it, but it has lived here. Hisense, I've used this TV for 4 years. This and my plant are the two things that I've had the longest in this condo. For my soundbar option, I'm rocking the LG SP11, and the reason why I like it, it comes with these 2 additional rear speakers, which you can emulate Dolby or surround sound, so I've got them placed on both sides of my couch. I'm kind of in a toss-up right now because I just got the new Apple HomePod Gen 2s, and you can pair those with the Apple TV as another soundbar option, so I'm kind of testing out both. Obviously, the soundbar, or the one from LG, gives you a bit more depth, but if you're into the Apple ecosystem, if you like a stereo pair of, say, Apple HomePods, it's also another option that's obviously quite a bit cheaper. So for the consoles, I mentioned, obviously, the Apple 4K TV. I also am rocking the Xbox Series S, and maybe one of my favorite pieces of tech is actually the new Elite controller, the Gen 2. So you can custom spec this. I've obviously gone with Xbox calls this orange. I would say it's maybe a bit more on the yellow pastel side, but it's probably the best gaming controller. I know that PlayStation just launched their new Edge controller, but by far, Xbox has it down for their controller design. They're straight up dope. Obviously, I've got 𝗦𝗱𝗱𝗏 as an engraving, and yeah, Xbox, you just smashed it with this controller. Furthermore, on that TV console, obviously a hint of Lego. So I've got my TIE Fighter. I feel like that entire area is either black or white, so very stormtrooper look to it. I mentioned my coffee table where my controllers live, and I've just got some little living room books that kind of live off. They just give a bit of a design aesthetic. And further in that corner, I've got a couple things from Dyson. So the first thing is the Dyson floor lamp. The specific name is the 𝗦𝗱𝗱𝗶𝗹 Morph lamp. It costs close to $1,000. Not that I would ever recommend that. Just super lucky that Dyson sent it out, but it does track the color temperature of when the sun rises. Obviously a bit warmer into the day, it gets a bit cooler, and at sunset it goes back into a warm LED color. So a really dope looking lamp. Once again, not anywhere close to near $1,000, but dope that I do have it. And beside it is something probably a bit more important, especially for air health. So this is one of Dyson's air purifiers. This one specifically is a fan, hot and cold, humidifier, formaldehyde cleaner, and of course air purifier. So if you are someone with a bit of a sensitive respiratory system that needs to kind of clear out all the particulates that flow around, especially in a condo because you share all the vents with people in a space, there can be some nasty stuff that floats around. Obviously, if you have pets, I'm lucky that Link doesn't shed, but all the pollen that he brings in, obviously we've got the doors outside. We're in the middle of the city, so a lot of pollutants come in. This thing helps to filter the air that we breathe. So obviously expensive once again, but more worth it on a tech side, I think. And kind of behind the couch before the windows, we have a couple pieces of home tech that I always forget to mention. So we do have some Philips Hue lights. I tend to lean towards my Philips lighting stuff. So those kind of help set the mood at night, or if we need some additional lighting. We've also have those Philips Hue lights outside on the balcony as well. This little guy is from 𝗦𝗱𝗱𝗏. Once again, really helpful tool for just making the condo a cleaner space, just getting into all the little nooks that crumbs like to fall, or Link brings in muddy footprints we just like to vacuum up. For our larger vacuum, we also have the Dyson, I believe it's the 𝗦12, 𝗦13, the latest one, Detect Complete with a little built-in laser. So between those two vacuums, that's how we keep the condo clean. And last but not least, over on this side, probably the last piece of tech in the living room, we just have a Nest Hub Max. So it's the larger Nest size hub, really only to tell the time. Maybe I'll ask it, hey Google, what's the temperature today? So another hub picked it up, which is weird because this one is sitting right here. It's a bit slow. So studio Wi-Fi responded weird because I'm literally talking right to it. So I find this to be a little bit on the buggy side. Once again, mostly just using this to kind of tell the time. And I've just got my keys, my sunglasses, my AirPods just sitting on this little white console. And that is pretty much my tech tour. I think I've covered everything off. My furniture, before I forget, I do have a nice match between both Caligaris and Rove Concepts. I'm super lucky enough to have upgraded from my IKEA stuff. When I used to be a student, obviously that was the cheaper end stuff, but as I've built up my career, as I've got a bit more income, I'm able to spend it on some nicer pieces that have once again lasted 4.5 years. I couldn't say the same for my IKEA stuff. Most of this furniture, unless I decide to rent this place out, will come with me to the new house. And that's pretty much been my tech living room tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, this is probably my last one of the year until we move into the new house. So when I redo this series sometimes next year, I will be in that new spot. So if there's anything that I forgot, I will leave it down below in the comments. If you guys have recommendations, let me know as well. And I hope this video kind of helped you out to map out your own space. You'll get some nice little inspiration ideas. And that's what I kind of look for when I watch YouTube, so I can set up my new spaces. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch the rest of you in one of my next ones. Peace.